And welcome to another edition of South Texas Crossfire. We're back. We were talking with a good friend of mine, Leo Barrera, Mission of Mercy. You can catch them on amissionofmercy.org and friend them, Mission of Mercy, for those who are slipping through the cracks in healthcare delivery, or if you just want to take a tour, give them a call at 883-5500. And thanks to our sponsor, Vasquez Flores Home Health, 881-9922. Whether or not you want to just start out in the healthcare careers as a provider, or you know somebody who needs somebody to go into their home and still maintain their independence, call Priscilla Vasquez, RN, 881-9922. With me, I've got a great friend to the community, a great judge, somebody who is now, he was a county court at law judge, now he is district court judge, 319th District Court. I give you David Stith. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on today.
Well, thank you for coming on. I know how busy you are. Look, we're going to jump in feet first. Congratulations. Your baby is now how old?
16 months.
16 months. I can't believe it. She was just born, yes, when you came on.
Yep.
And your lovely wife, her name?
Carly.
Carly, that's right. And when you came on, you were a new papa.
I was back then, and I'll tell you, it's just an amazing experience. You hear about it, you hear about how it will change your life from other people, and you don't know until it happens to you.
That's right, that's right. She's daddy's girl. Now, you were county court at law judge, and now you're at district court level. People go, what's the difference between county court at law and district court?
There's a big difference, and one that I knew, obviously, because I practiced for a while, but I didn't really understand a lot of the differences until I got there. The decisions you make in a district court are very serious. A lot of them deal with child custody, high-level felonies, and civil that's concurrent jurisdiction, but I found that there's a lot of big high-level civil cases that are also filed in district court.
Well, and let me ask you this, because I think it's important to our viewers and listeners, because we're going to also simultaneously broadcast this on radio. You are presiding over cases that speak for the injured and for the dead and
Absolutely.
Their families. And it's so serious. We're going to be bringing on a Texas super lawyer after this, Kevin Lyles, and we're going to be asking him about some of the cases he handles. But you preside over cases like that. What is that like, that experience?
You know, I try to judge a little differently, and I try to be the best judge I can be for every case. And I think it's very important because when somebody comes into district court, it's a major life event for them. It's not like in misdemeanor court where it's a bump in the road and you know, you go on with a DWI or whatnot. If you're in district court, either maybe someone's trying to take away your child, maybe you're going through a divorce proceeding, which is very stressful, or you may be charged with a high-level felony, which could be all the way up to capital murder, which would be life or death. And then the civil cases, like what you talked about, those cases normally are very serious when they're filed in district court. Even though, as we talked about before, there's concurrent jurisdiction between district courts and county courts, for some reason I'm finding that a lot of the high-level cases are filed in district court. And I'm sure there are also high-level cases filed in county court, but I'm seeing a lot of them in district court as well.
Well, and you just finished a very highly publicized case, and I know we can't get into the details, but it involved the injury of a child. You, as a father, you know, you have to enforce the law. You have to call a ball and a strike. But it takes a lot of moral and ethical stress on somebody to sit up there. I don't think people realize the magnitude or the impact it has on a judge. Can you tell us a little bit in general about that experience?
And I'd like to, because that's an interesting point. You know, there oftentimes I go through sentencing, and whether it's for some of the regular felony cases or the high-level felonies that you're talking about, or even the child custody determinations that I think about throughout the day and into the night, because they're so important. I don't want to ever get so, I don't know, to where the job doesn't matter, to where I don't realize or look at each case as a person's life. Not only does it affect that person, but it affects the community, it affects their family, and it affects the victims and the witnesses in the case. And so I take those decisions very seriously, and it's very important for me that I make the right decision without regard to personal thoughts of what I have you say that I'm a recent father, and that's true, but I've got to make sure every decision I make is based upon the law. And so it is very hard, and it is very stressful at times.
Now you have politics plays a part in this. You have the support of the governor. You have the support of the major leaders here in town. When you did your swearing in, you had Democrats, Republicans, Independents, Tea Party guys. Everybody was there.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, how did you get such broad base of support other than hoofing it and knocking on doors?
Well, I'll tell you, I believe that that's a testament to how I handled county court. I've never, ever wanted the position as judge to be anything close to political. It's important for me not to be political. If a person comes into court, the last thing you want to be thinking about is, oh, I'm a Republican and the judge is Democrat, or I'm a Democrat and the judge is Republican. That has no place in the courtroom. And so I wanted to make a statement also when I got sworn in that politics doesn't go further than the doorsteps of the courthouse, and that's important. And so it was a testament, hopefully, to how I've tried to be as a judge and as a lawyer, to treat everybody fairly and with respect and do the best job that I can.
Well, and you've been through it. It's a full contact sport, politics, and I have never seen you throw a dirty punch. I've never seen you put on a negative ad. And in fact, your opponents either, I think they're smart enough to know the rules of engagement, that unless somebody throws mud at you first, you don't attack, you know? So you've run clean campaigns. Tell us about your seat, when you're going to have to defend the throne, the title, which you're honored to serve in. When is that coming up?
Okay, the election will be next November, so I have a year basically in the position before I have to run. And again, I don't believe in negative campaigning. You know, certainly I'd have to defend myself if somebody attacked, but I certainly hope they wouldn't. I think the public, although maybe there's some interest in that, the public really wants to know about the candidate.
Exactly.
And what kind of job they can do. And so that's what I focus on.
People are tired of, hate to say it, we got friends, both of us, we know United States congressmen, we know other judges, we know Court of Appeals guys. People are tired of the political system, and I think that there's a fatigue in this country. What's your vision for your campaign and what you stand for? If you could give your platform in a couple of minutes.
Sure. No problem with that. As far as I go, when I'm running this campaign, I'm running it not only on what I've done for the community and what I want to do for the community and my vision of the court, which is to treat everybody who comes into court respectfully, to know the law, and to apply that law fairly to each and every individual case. And that's what I want to do. Whether you win or lose when you come into court, right, I want to make sure everyone knows, hey, he listened to me, he treated me fairly and respectfully, I had a chance to argue my case, and even if I lost, I understand his decision because it was based on the law, and that's really important to me.
Yeah, because people don't understand that when you come in there, if you can't work it out, a good friend of mine, Judge Longoria, he's tough.
He is.
And he says, go work it out before you come to me on divorces, things like that. Try to work it out, because one of you is not going to be happy with my decision. And isn't that true in almost every case, if not all?
It's true, and especially on family law cases. I'm finding that a lot. There are oftentimes, very regretfully, that children are used in custody cases. I don't like it. I call it out when I see it, and it really bothers me. And what I don't think people totally understand is, if you can't resolve it amongst yourselves and you go before a judge, that means a person who doesn't know you is going to be ruling on the future of your child based upon, what, an hour, maybe an hour and a half worth of testimony. That should be a very scary proposition for people, because it's hard for a judge to have a complete picture of a situation in an hour or an hour and a half. It's much better if parties are able to, understanding that there's going to be amity between the two parties, but if they can work together for the best interest of the child, it's that much better.
Well, and we've got a couple of minutes left before the break, before we bring on Kevin, but the thing I want to ask, I guess, is you've been a federal lawyer, you've done state law, and then becoming a judge at such a young age. What would you tell our brothers and sisters out there that practice law now that you're up on the bench? What is your perception, or what can you tell them about the experience to kind of get both sides of it? Because we work together hand in glove.
Sure. And I've done everything. When I first started out, I fought in the trenches defending and doing family law cases. Then I became a special prosecutor for a while in B County. Then I was a county court of law judge, and now I'm a district court judge. The first thing I can say is I think it's very important for people to understand, if they go through that process, not to lose sight of who they are I'm just a common guy, you know, and I really do think of myself that way. I came down to Corpus in 2002, didn't know a soul.
Dallas to Corpus. Usually
Right.
it's the other way around.
Right.
And your brother's an ER doc, so
Here.
both of y'all moved down.
That's right.
And your dad and mom, right?
Yeah, the whole family moved down. I got the whole family to move down, and I didn't know a soul when I got here, but through hard work and dedication, I would have never thought I would be the type of the person where the governor would actually appoint me to fill a district court position.
It's a great honor.
And I'm just a common guy. I'm just I'm just a regular everyday guy. So I guess I would like to make sure everyone knows with hard work the American dream is alive, and you can do it.
Oh, I appreciate it. And that's Judge Stith, 319th District Court. Put aside your popcorn and candy and sodas while you're watching this. Write down that name because he is going to be on the ballot come November 14 and campaigning hard for your vote, your support, and you're doing a great job. I've been in front of you already, and this is, I call a ball and a strike a strike. You know me. I don't mince words. You were a great lawyer that worked with me in federal court, and you're a great judge now, so my commendation to you, man.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to be back with Kevin Lyle, super lawyer, and we're going to be talking about serious accidents and injuries and people that are permanently disabled or have passed away, and he is fighting for their voice and their families when we come back.
Have you been arrested or are potentially facing criminal charges? You need a trial attorney who is well-versed in the courtroom. Joe Flores has handled hundreds of criminal cases and many of them to trial. Joe Flores can provide you with competent representation to protect your constitutional rights in state and federal court. Joe Flores can help if you have been arrested or facing criminal charges. The law offices of Joe Flores. Equal justice for all.
I think it's a betrayal of public trust. That is just not ethical.
I left the Democratic Party because of her.
The reason is because you're taking Republican money.
The money of those people that pay me as a consultant. What are you taking? What did you take in Crosstown? Took money. I saw it and I saw them pay you checks.
Okay, hold on. Everybody. Hi, this is attorney and board certified nurse practitioner Joe Flores on behalf of Vasquez Flores Home Health. Nursing homes have their place, but having care in your own home is very important. Call today for more information. Backed by over 20 years of experience, registered nurse Priscilla Vasquez can answer your questions about home care. Call 881-9922. That's 881-9922 today.
Have you or a loved one suffered a stroke, heart attack, unexplained low blood pressure, or death during dialysis? The FDA has issued warnings and recalled the product Granuflo and Naturalite used in dialysis. At least one national company failed to warn the public that over 900 people had suffered cardiac arrest or death. A condition called metabolic alkalosis developed, which may have caused the harm. Call the law offices of Joe Flores today. With a combined 25 years of experience in the medical field and as a trial lawyer, Joe Flores can help. Call now.